Good morning, y'all, and welcome to the Vibes at Alma podcast with Ashley. My voice might be a little interesting right now. I woke up recently, and I'm here with my cup of coffee, my cup of happy. And yeah, I've been having an interesting time getting back out there with the podcast, and it's mainly because of the editing. Before, when I was at my, quote unquote, peak of podcasting, I would plan out the episodes. I would go ahead and do like a little itinerary for the episodes. I would always allow room for flow, though. I think I do some of my best work when I have like a cute little structure, but there's like a lot of room for flow. Specifically for myself, I would then think about who I was going to interview, how do I reach out to them, how do I schedule it, all these other beautiful things. And then once I recorded the episode, it was about editing the podcast and creating stuff for the podcast and publishing it. And now with a baby, I have to start back at zero. I have to go back to basics and do the same exact thing that I did at the very beginning of my podcast, and that was just record and upload until I got more comfortable, and then I decided to do a little bit more work and so on and so forth. So I'm back at starting at no editing. So hopefully this episode doesn't sound too crazy. It can be a little crazy. We're fine with a little crazy, just not completely crazy. And I think that the first one that I wanted to talk about, we can do tarot. While I was pregnant, I could not do a lot of spiritual practices that I would do before. I also couldn't do yoga. And I could do stretching, but if I went to try to do a yoga flow for whatever, my body would just kind of get hurt. And I would make sure that I would sit down and get to that comfortable space where I am stretching the muscle, but I'm not hurting myself. And even then I would still get hurt. So I then had to stop doing yoga and just stretch. So a lot of the things that I would do to kind of regulate my nervous system and regulate myself were kind of a no. I was not able to do them. So during the year, pretty much, that I wasn't really able to do the things that I would normally do before, I realized that one of the things that I definitely love to incorporate into my life is card divination, tarot, oracle decks. And for those of you that may not know, tarot and oracle decks, both of them are part of divining with cards. Tarot is a set of 78 cards. So it's a fixed set of 78 cards, and it's broken down into the major arcana and the minor arcana. And the minor arcana have the wands, the swords, the pentacles, and the cups, right? An oracle deck is any other type of card deck that you would like to use to divine. So it could be about self-care, it could be about affirmations, it could be about the goddess Isis, it can be about fairies, it can be about water, it can be about whatever it is that you want it to be. And it's less structured, even though usually a standard oracle deck has 44 cards. But again, the parameters as to what you would like to divine for, and the messages and the number, it's all a broader spectrum. And again, tarot is more fixed. It's those 78 cards that you have. At least in modern day times, it's those 78 cards, right? So I could go into the history, but I don't think I'm going to go into the history. I'm going to go into the fact that tarot, some people think that when you pull cards, you're giving over your power to the cards, right? And the thing is that sometimes that is true. Sometimes you are giving over your power to the cards that you're pulling. And when you get to that point, that is a very important step in the intuition development journey of reminding yourself that you are always the person that has the power. It's always you. So When I first started reading tarot, I would look at the guidebook. I would pull a card. The first tarot deck that I received, when I opened it, it said that for you to learn how to read tarot, you would pull a card every day, and then you would learn it slowly. And I was like, okay, let me try that. So I would pull a card every day, every morning, and I would read the guidebook. So the same several cards would always continue to pop up, and I got pretty knowledgeable and comfortable with those cards. But then there's other cards that would come out that I would just not know anything about. I decided to try to practice on other people to kind of put myself out there and also continue learning, right? Because sometimes when you teach others, you learn. You have to know what you're teaching for you to be able to teach another person. So I started offering card readings for $1, $3, $5, literally between $1 and $5. And I would pull cards, and then I would read the guidebook, and then I would talk, and then I would flow. And I was just a little, I guess it would be self-conscious. I didn't want to be wrong. That's the thing. When I was reading cards, I didn't want to be wrong. And there were times, and I still remember this, when I would pull a card and I'd be like, nah, that can't be the message. And then I would switch the message, and then the person's like, wait, I thought that's interesting. I would think it's XYZ. And I was like, crap, that was the original message that I thought. So it was interesting to do that. But then again, I also did it at $1. So it was kind of a lot more flexible. I would do $1 card readings, $3 card readings that would last 45 minutes to an hour. Oh my God, that's insane to think about that now. But I would do them for free, man. I love doing card readings. I love them so much. And the same thing with astrology. Sometimes I'll be like, hey, can I look at your natal chart? Okay, let me stop sidetracking. See, this is something that I would probably take out of the regular episode, but here we are, unedited. So once I was doing card readings for people, especially after those situations where it's wait, hold up, the original message that I received is the one that I should have said. Because of those things, I decided to look up how to get better at trusting my intuition. And it said that instead of, when it came to cards, it said that when I would pull a card, to not look at the guidebook. And that's the thing, you can't look at the guidebook. And to look at the cards first. Look at the card, look at the symbolism, look at the imagery. How does it make you feel? Meditate on it and see what messages come. And then you can quote unquote confirm by looking at the guidebook and looking at the definition. So that's what I would do. I would put a timer for 5 minutes. Sometimes I would just do 3 because I was impatient. I'm getting better at patience. So I would put a timer, or I would just look at the time and then wait until the 3 minutes or the 5 minutes are up, and then open up the guidebook. And it was pretty cool. It gave me, I don't remember if the things that I came up with were in alignment with the guidebook. If I'm being completely transparent, I don't remember that part. I do remember that those exercises just helped me get more comfortable with tuning in to the energy of the moment and being able to receive a message with that. Somebody else, I think it's the Gem Goddess, she had mentioned in one of her videos a long time ago regarding how to read cards without knowing the definitions. She had mentioned to just look at the story that the cards are putting together, kind of like a comic book. What is the story? How do all of the cards work together? What is in the cards? What is not in the cards, right? That also can give insight into what the message is about. An example for that would be when I was doing card readings in a market. There was one time that I did a card reading for someone, and all of the cards that came out were wands. Never in my life had that happen up to that point. All of them were wands. And I was like, okay, so you're definitely extremely focused on what you're passionate about, on trying to spark your creativity, on trying to work on your spirituality, but you're neglecting your body, you're neglecting your mind, you're neglecting your emotions. It all works together. Anyways, so the things that are in the cards are just as cool to look at and consider as the things that are not in the cards, especially when that little spark comes. It's like, wait, hold up, I don't see any of this. If you have that question while you're pulling cards, it's because that's part of the message you're meant to kind of like give or receive if you're reading for yourself. So anyways, I started to do that for myself, where I would pull a card, meditate on it, or just look at the card, try to come up with a message, and then look at the guidebook. And I did that for a few times. I also had read that you can just pull a card and journal on it. And I think that at this point in my life, I didn't have that much time that I wanted to dedicate to card readings and journaling. Like, I would be okay with like sitting on it and meditating on it and then looking at the meaning, but to sit down and journal, like, that would make that 5-minute practice a 15-minute practice, and I should have done it. But at the time, I didn't want to set aside 15 minutes for that, at least not every day. So I would do it like once a month. I would do like a really big card reading for myself, and then I would journal about it and like how I felt and the meaning and all this stuff. So that's something pretty cool. Now, I would say that with the card readings, I did at first, I did pull it every day. But the thing is that the energy that you hold isn't usually going to change one day to the other. Sometimes it does, but usually it doesn't. And because of that, I started to just pull one card a week for myself, or just kind of like be less stressed about pulling a card every day. So I got to the point in my card reading practice where I was like, okay, I kind of am tired of pulling a card every single day. Like, if I get a message, cool, but like, it's not gonna change tomorrow, so why am I gonna waste my time doing that? Let me do something else. Like, let me meditate, let me do yoga, let me go outside and put my bare feet in the grass, let me go to the backyard, make myself a cup of coffee or tea and journal, let me do a gratitude practice, right? Like, at one point I got tired of pulling cards every day, and then I started to just do other things. But still, when it came to hard decisions or hard moments in my life, I would still want to pull cards. And then this is where I started to give my power away to the cards, because I did, up to this point, I used the cards for shadow work, in the sense that there was someone that posted shadow work questions, and then I would pull a card, like, for example, what is a wound that I have with my father that I have to heal that I haven't been able to look at? Then I would pull a card and be like, okay, and then I would meditate on it, and then I would journal about it. And it was like 27 days of shadow work. And I don't really like the word shadow work, but I think it's more about getting to know yourself. There are parts of ourselves that we don't want to look at, and then because we don't look at them, they actually end up taking a driver's seat in our life. So I think that a lot of times shadow work, at its most pop cultural thing, is just a way for you to learn about who you are and what your true motives are. And sometimes people don't want to know what their true motives are because they're embarrassed, or they just don't want to admit to the darkness that's within them. And again, I don't like saying the darkness either, because it's like, the womb is dark, and that's where life comes from. The womb is dark, and that's where women feel pressure or pleasure. Like, it's not evil. It really isn't. It's just there are things that are not nice out there, and there's things that are nice. So I think I'm just going to use that, not nice and nice. So there's emotions that we have and motivations that we have within us that are not nice, and we don't want to look at them because we want to be this perfect person. And I think in society and in certain religions, people demonize the things that are not nice, and that just drives us further away from being able to sit with ourselves and be able to truly heal, because then it's like, oh, if you do X, Y, and Z, then that is the devil taking over. And it's like, wait, hold up, like, you're the one making these decisions, you're the one making these actions. Sure, Maybe there is something that is possessing you, or maybe it's just you. But in either case, like, you still have to look at that. You still have to accept it in some way, shape, or form, so you can heal it and move on from it. Like, you still have to process it. You still have to digest it, right? Like, if you eat something and it sits bad in your stomach, you can't just like neglect it. You have to let it run its course. You have to let it digest through your body and come out. So in the same manner, there are things that we do that are not nice, and if we neglect it, then we're just going to continue festering poison in our stomach. But if we sit down, we accept it, we look at it, we process it, we digest it, then we can poop it out or throw it up, and we can move on. And then we're probably never going to have that piece of food ever again. We're going to look at it and be like, that's sketch. I don't trust this anymore. I'm good. You're going to be a little bit more aware of the things that you put into your body, the things that you surround yourself with. That's a whole tangent. So yeah, cards helped me learn more about myself, learn more about my true motivations, learn more about what makes me have more peace in my life, what makes me be more stressed, what makes me angry. Like, it helped me just see all of those things, and it also helped me to an extent pinpoint where those motivations come from. And I said to an extent because even though card readings were really pivotal for me in learning who I was also doing therapy, right? So I was seeing a licensed professional, and they are people, right, that have studied psychology and psychiatry for years and have practiced on a bunch of people. And I think that there's always a therapist for you. And if you've seen therapists that just don't click, there's a billion other therapists out there, and I found one that I really, really, really like relate to. And the therapist has helped me alongside card readings, right? The therapist helped me be able to like sit with those things that I would find about myself, talk through them, accept them, not be ashamed of them, right? Because why are you ashamed of something that is a part of you? And if we try to push away that shame, it just makes it harder for us to be able to heal from that shame. So, and that's something that, I've learned over the years, because a lot of times we don't want to feel those weird emotions, and they get brought up, right? Like, when you read tarot for yourself, usually some things that you might not want to know about yourself are going to come up. They're going to come up. And then you have to sit with that emotion. Like, your body needs to let that emotion move through it for it to be released. You can't, like, yes, sure, you can shake out trauma. Yeah, sure, you can run. But, like, you need to breathe, and you need to, like, feel the emotion in its full capacity for you to be able to move on from it. Technically, you're not, like, if you let yourself feel anger in its full force, you're only supposed to feel it in your body for 90 seconds. If you feel it for more than that, there's other things that are a part of that anger. And anger is a secondary emotion anyways. Whenever you feel angry, there's also another emotion that comes along with it that triggers the anger and triggers the protective response from anger. So it could be sadness, it could be betrayal, it could be disappointment, it could be a lot of things. But anger is an emotion that is always wrapped up with something else. So it's not just like you're not just angry because you're angry. Like, something happened that made you feel like you needed to protect yourself, and then now you have two emotions at least that are a part of that. But anyways, so card readings and therapy helped me find out a lot more about myself. But again, because of the fact that they helped me learn so much, I gave my power over to the cards and be like, all right, I have a big decision to make. Let me pull cards. And if anybody has been at that point in their card reading journey where they're like emotionally charged or like super like emotionally all over the place, and then they pull cards, the cards are going to reflect the state that you're in. So it's like a lot of times when I would be in those positions where I'm like, I don't know what to do, and I would pull cards. The cards also didn't know what to do, because they're like, bro, I can't. The cards are a reflection of you, because the power is within you. So if you don't know what to do, when you pull cards for yourself, the cards are also not going to know what to do. And a lot of times when you feel like you don't know what the best outcome is, and you pull a card and there's an answer that resonates, it's because within you already know the answer. So when you pull cards and then the cards reflect something weird, it's because you're still not at a point where you have decided within yourself just yet. And I think that is sadly like a step that a lot of people have to go through whenever they're doing divination, period. Like it could be pendulum, it could be card readings, it could be runes, it could be anything. You come to a point where you have seen these divination tools work and you have seen them add value to your life, where you start putting your power into the tool instead of into yourself, forgetting that you're the one that's divining, you're the one with the intuition, you're the one receiving the messages, and the divination tool is just a conduit to make it easier for you to go ahead and trust that message. So yeah. So when I got to that point, I completely stopped doing card readings for myself. I would still do them for others, but I would not do it for myself, because I still loved and respected that divination system, and I still do. And again, through pregnancy, I realized that I don't ever want to let cards go, you know? So I stopped doing card readings for myself for a little bit, and I would get card readings from other people. But then at that point, I started to realize that not everybody should do card readings for me, right? So then I started to try to find people that I would trust and that I would allow into my energetic field and into my space, and to communicate with my elevated ancestors and my benevolent spiritual guides and all that good stuff. And with time, then I realized, okay, like I do have to be picky about who reads for me. I can't just let anybody read for me, because that's also someone interacting with my energy, and there are times when they can leave shit in your energetic field, or they can just absorb your own energy and be an energetic vampire. And so, yeah, that's pretty sad. There's some card readers out there that do that, where you get a card reading and then you feel more tired after the fact. That's because they drew from your energy, with or without your consent, to feel themselves and feel the energetic reading. And the thing is that you don't have to do that. Like, you can just be like, yo, life force energy, divining energy, please protect me and only allow this stuff to like be used for energetics. So if you are a Reiki practitioner, you can ask, and I have done this, for the life force energy to help fuel the energy needed for the reading, so that way you can be protected, the person can be protected, the space can be protected, and it's just that's really carrying the force. So whatever resonates with you, again, right? So I would only do readings for other people, and then I started to be very intentional with when I would pull cards and how often. And I don't do it all the time. I do it maybe every other month. So maybe like 6 times a year max that I pull cards for myself now. And at first, when I did it every day, it was more so to learn and get accustomed to it. Now I've reached a point where I not only respect the cards, but I also understand that technically the message that I receive about my life isn't going to change every day. But if I pull a card in the morning, like, okay, what do I have to keep in mind today? That's something different, right? Versus like, okay, what I need a message about my love life. And then you pull a card, and then the next day you're like, oh my God, I need an update. And it's like, bro, not like 24 hours haven't even passed and you're already asking for an update. Like, you just went to sleep and you woke up and you're asking for an update. Sometimes things do happen in like, a short amount of time, but usually you gotta wait at least 3 days, bro. And then that brings me to the other thing. Sometimes people want to get card readings every week, and I think like a better practice would be like a monthly. Like, if you get a card reading from somebody else like on a monthly basis, that would be good, unless you're getting card readings regarding different topics. Like, maybe one day you get a card reading only about your career, and then another day you get a card reading only about like your love life, right? But then for your career, you would want to wait another month to get a reading about that. And then for your love life, again, you would also want to wait like another month, or at least a couple of weeks, depending on how active or inactive you are. But it's, yeah. So disclaimer, if any card reader is telling you like, oh my God, like you have to call me back, oh my God, you have to do this, like I have to help, like, no, that's a red flag. That's a red flag, baby. Nope. Bye. Like, it's not that deep, bro. Like, if you feel like you're being fed fear porn for a lack of a better term, to continue going back for card readings, and the person's not empowering you to learn how to do cards for yourself, or empowering you to trust your own intuition, or empowering you to lead your own life, that's a red flag. Point blank, period. Like, you are the holder of your destiny. You have free will, right? That is our God-given right, free will. You have the decisions to make. You are the one that can do right and wrong. You are the one that can move forward. And there are some things, and then, okay, I guess this is going to be my last tangent. Right and wrong. Here we have Coffee with Ashley, talking about right and wrong. There are some universal laws that are right and wrong, right? An example, I don't know how I feel about this. You know, people talk about the 10 Commandments and how they are right and wrong, and I get it. Yeah. But then there's other things that people add on to the 10 Commandments that are like, oh, this is right or this is wrong. And it's like, well, that's not what God freaking said at the mountain. So what are we doing here? Like, there are some things that people say that are wrong that are not necessarily wrong. They just make the other person feel uncomfortable, and then they make like a big show about, oh my God, like, you did something wrong, you did something bad, da da da, and it's not wrong. It's just uncomfortable for the person. So an example of that would be like, maybe someone asks me, hey, like, what do you think about my outfit? I just got this yesterday. I'm really excited about it. It's amazing. Like, what do you think? And then I tell them my honest opinion. And I'm like, honestly, like, it doesn't really flatter you the way that you think it should. Like, I get that you think it's nice, but maybe da 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 da. And they're like, oh my God, that's so wrong. Like, oh, would you tell me that? That's not wrong. You asked me for honesty. So me being honest is wrong? You want me to lie? Is that what you want me to do? Lie to your face? Tell you that you look great, when in my eyes, and you're asking for my opinion, mind you, you asked me to tell you what I think, and in my mind, I think you look a little crazy. You don't have, like, that example, if you're asking somebody else how do you look, you're asking for outside validation. And the thing is, you have to validate yourself. Like, if you feel good about your own outfit, who cares what anybody else thinks? Who cares? If you feel happy, who freaking cares what anybody else has to say about you? Because a lot of people that talk about other people in that manner, like trying to put other people down, is because they don't feel good enough about themselves to be able to put themselves up. So for them to be able to, quote unquote, pull themselves up, they have to drag other people down so they can feel better about themselves. So regardless, me saying the truth, even if it hurts somebody's feelings, is not wrong. I'm being honest. I'm saying my truth. And at the same time, there are things that need to be deliverable, right? Like, there are times when people say that, oh, you're being rude. And it's like, no. There are times when you are being rude, right? Like, there are times when people are being rude. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, you know, like, okay, you don't have to add the F there, and you can, like, maybe not say shut up, right? Like, that could be rude. Like, another way that you can say shut the fuck up, like, in a nice way, could be like, hey, like, I really appreciate what you have to share. Right now, I'm having a hard time thinking. Would you be able to give me like 5 minutes so I can, like, really sit with my thoughts for a second? That would be a really nice way to tell someone to shut the fuck up. Super nice, right? So there are ways to deliver a message that could be nicer than others, but a lot of times when people say, like, oh, you're being rude, is because the person saying you're rude, that person that's saying it has a preconceived idea of how you should behave to cater to their emotion. And you're not doing that. You're making them uncomfortable. So they say that you're being rude. And the thing is that sometimes people are rude. And sometimes people are not rude. And regardless if someone is rude or not, you are still the one feeling the emotion. So if you feel some type of way, that means that you have some work to do. And maybe you should pull some cards or get somebody to do a card reading to kind of reflect on why you felt some type of way. And I'm going to end it with that. Cards are beautiful. I love them so much. I realized through pregnancy when I couldn't do any of the spiritual activities I would usually do, that cards are something that are now a part of my life. Whether I continue doing card readings for other people or not, I'm still gonna have card decks in my house, and I'm still gonna pull cards for myself periodically, and I enjoy it. So yeah, that's a little talk about tarot and my tarot journey. And thank you all for listening with me, and I hope that you all got some beautiful insights from this cute little talk. And until next time, y'all.